friends, welcome back to my channel. Today, let's read another beautiful story, The Beauty and the Beast. Once there lived a merchant who had three beautiful daughters. He loved all three, but he loved his youngest daughter Belle the most. Belle was gentle, kind, and beautiful. One day, the merchant had to go to a distant country. Before leaving, he asked his daughters, "What shall I bring for you, my lovely daughters?" "Bring me a necklace, father," said the eldest daughter. The second daughter asked for a gold chain. Belle said, "Return safely, father." The merchant laughed and said, "Child, yes, I will, but tell me, what should I get for you?" "Father, bring me a rose," replied Belle. The merchant set out on his journey. He bought the goods. He also bought a necklace and a gold chain for his two elder daughters. But he could not find a rose for Belle. After a few days, the merchant began his journey back to his home. He had to cross the forest. It was evening and he lost his way. "Oh, where shall I spend the night?" he said to himself. Just then he saw a light at a distance and went towards it. The light was coming from a castle. The merchant entered the castle and called out loud, "Is anybody here?" But he got no reply. As he wandered from one room to the other, he saw that the castle was beautifully decorated. Now let's see what happened next, shall we? The merchant was hungry and tired. He reached the dining room, which had a variety of foods laden on the dining table. He ate the food hesitantly and then went to the bedroom, which was also beautifully decorated. There he fell asleep. The next morning the merchant went out to look at the castle garden, where he found beautiful red roses blooming all around. This reminded him of Belle, and he plucked a rose. That very moment, a terrible thing happened. Now let's see what happened. A beast with fiery eyes and horns suddenly appeared before him. "How dare you pluck a rose from my garden?" roared the beast. Trembling with fear, the merchant said, "Sir, I plucked the rose from my youngest daughter. Since there was no one around, I couldn't seek permission before plucking it," continued the merchant. "Be fearfully still. You have committed a theft, and you will have to pay for it with your life," shouted the beast with anger. Now let's see what happened. The merchant was frightened and begged for his life. "Who will support my daughters if I die?" he pleaded. "I will spare your life only for one condition," said the beast. "Bring your youngest daughter here within 7 days. Leave her in the castle or be prepared to lose your life." The merchant returned home with a heavy heart. He gave the necklace and the gold chain to his two elder daughters. "Oh, thank you, father," they cried with joy. However, the merchant sighed when he gave the rose to Belle. The merchant's sadness didn't escape Belle's notice. She kept on asking him the reason for his suffering. Finally, the merchant told Belle about the beast. Now let's see what happened next in the story, shall we? Belle decided to help her father, and the next morning she left for the castle with him. "Is this your daughter?" asked the beast. "Yes, sir, she is," replied the merchant in a trembling voice. "Now go back and don't ever return to my castle." The merchant was very sad to leave his beloved daughter Belle in the lonely castle with the beast. But he had no choice. Belle was scared of the beast all the time. However, the beast treated her well, and gradually they became friends. One day, when Belle was taking a stroll in the garden, the beast asked her, "Will you marry me?" Belle was surprised by this unexpected proposal and declined. Now let's see what happened next. One day, The beast saw Belle crying and asked her why she was sad. I am missing my family, replied Belle, sobbing. The beast presented Belle with a magic mirror in which she could see her father and her sisters each time she looked at it. This made Belle happy. One day, when Belle looked into the mirror, she saw that her father was very ill. I wish to meet my father, she pleaded with the beast. At once the beast gave her a ring and said, put this ring on and turn it in your finger. You will reach home, but remember, you must return within a week. Otherwise, Belle put on the ring and turned it. The very next moment, the Belle found herself back home. Once she was with her family, she forgot all about the beast's warning. Now let's see what happened next in the story, shall we? A week later, Belle dreamed that the beast was dying. She turned the ring immediately. Within seconds, Belle was in the beast's garden. There, she found the beast lying under a tree. Please do not die, cried Belle. I love you and wish to marry you. The very next moment, the beast transformed into a handsome prince. The prince then explained how the curse of a witch had turned him into a beast, which ended with Belle's love. Belle married the prince and they lived happily ever after.